Well, as we've already discussed, the good folks from Focus Kalkoff have some amazing e-bikes, but the good old-fashioned pedals that you turn in anger in a fantastic competition are part of their line as well. I'm here with Jeff Rowe. How are you?
I'm doing fantastically well. Lucky to be here. How are you, Terry?
I'm just great. Thank you for asking. Talk about this new line of bikes that you've got here. You've been in the States for a little bit, but still a newer couple of brands?
We've been in the States since 2009. We haven't had a full range of mountain bikes until now. We've had carbon hardtails, aluminum hardtails in 27.5 and 29er. Now we've come in with a full suspension range for everybody, for every shop, every ride.
So you guys can really service a shop in terms of what their product mix that they would want to be, depending on who their customer is, where they are geographically, et cetera.
That's exactly what that's about. With the best hardtail on the market, you still can't get into shops if you're showing people one hardtail and nothing on this side of it, nothing on that side of it, nothing lower end, nothing higher travel. Now we can't sponsor an athlete as well, because all we've got is a hardtail, and he's racing enduro mountain bike, endurance mountain biking. He's racing things like Grand Junction, Leadville. Now we have bikes for all of those. To sponsor an athlete these days, you have to have a quiver of bikes for them.
Indeed. Let's talk a little bit about the spine here.
Okay. The significant difference between this and the other bikes that you were looking at, this bike has more or less an unlimited range, depending on how many peanut butter jelly sandwiches you can carry in your jersey pocket. So 127 miles with the new Integrale. This we recommend about 40 on a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You can easily tack on 20 with just a fig bar, something like that, and stay hydrated. This is our new spine. It's the 120 mil travel 650B bike. It's been the whole in our line for years, and it's filled, it's leapfrogged the competition as well, being a more modern 27.5 120 mil travel bike.
And is that an advantage of, in a sense, starting from scratch? You don't have legacy designs that you're trying to transfer, but rather just say, in this category, how do we build this bike? We've got a blank slate.
That's it. A new product manager has come into our company, and he's working with the existing product managers, so he didn't replace anybody. He's taken their strengths along with a new corporate structure at Focus Bikes that's empowered him, enabled him to do whatever he wanted with a mountain bike. And he's come up with this for us. It's a proprietary, modified single pivot rear suspension that we can use. It's one-by drivetrain, 120 mil travel front and rear. You see it here with the RockShox RS1. We'll be bringing 5 models into North America, and I have details on those for you. And we'll also look at the SAM, which is now in carbon. It's a 160 mil travel. So that bike blends all mountain and enduro riding. This bike blends trail riding, which is 95% of everybody's riding. You might shuttle 2 times a year. You might take the lifts 2 times a year. Most of your riding is going to be on something like this. You might race 2 times a year and need something with less travel, but this is the bike to ride every day.
Can we talk a little bit about road bikes?
Oh, there's a bike that I would love to show you that was launched last week in Europe. We'll come back in a couple weeks when I have one, and that's the new Izalco Max Disc, 120 mil disc rotors. You've seen that the UCI are allowing testing on disc brake racing this year. We've already got the Cayo disc in the line from last year, CAYO, and that's been an immensely popular bike for the riding that people are doing now, mixed use riding. It's got the RAT through axle, which is okay for roadies. It's not a new technology. It looks like the quick release they're used to. You open it up, turn it 90 degrees, and pull it out. So they're changing tires just as fast. They're fixing flats just as fast out on the road. To ride a road bike with a 15 mil through axle front and a 142 through axle rear is a completely new experience. So even if you're not curious about how disc braking can help you, I strongly encourage you to ride a bike with through axles, our bike with through axles.
Well, and you make a really good point about disc brakes getting into road cycling on the competitive side, is that races can and are won and lost often on flat tires, wheel changes. Was it effective? Was it fast? Was it terribly slow? Right. And that's gotta be something that happens.
They'll be just as fast now as your standard quick release. There was some wariness in the road scene with disc brakes. We didn't completely understand them. We like our forks to be very light. We like the frames to be very light, and that doesn't suggest that you're not going to have some sort of shuddering when you brake, some sort of noise because there's flex and the rotor is not meeting your calipers perfectly. You put our super light through axle system in there, you have no weight increase to the frame. You can make lighter rims because the rims don't have to have a braking surface now. You can have carbon rims and not worry about carbon brake pads, the noise, the performance in the wet. So some of the strengths that you're used to for mountain bike, on a mountain bike now there's only disc brakes. There hasn't been any other brakes for 8 years. Some of the strengths that you're used to from mountain apply to the road, and some are irrelevant. It's a whole new batch of performance advantages for having disc brakes on road bikes. And that's the way things are going to go.
That was so nicely done. What else do we need to talk about?
I do this for a living, Terry, as you can imagine. That's all I've got.
That's all you got. Well, let's do.
Look at bikes and let's go ride bikes.
That sounds great. Give folks the web address to find out more about these fantastic steeds.
All the information for the USA is on our corporate site, which is focus-bikes.com.
Jeff, thanks, man.
Thanks, Terry. Thanks for the time.